How to crochet the reverse single crochet seam. To download a guide with our 5 favorite tips to improve your crochet skills right now, visit newstitchaday.com/5crochet-tips. For this tutorial, you'll need the following materials: a crochet hook and a ball of yarn. Special thanks to our sponsor Lion Brand for providing today's yarn. Today we're using their Lion's Pride Woolspun, available exclusively at Michael's Craft Stores, in the color Oxford Gray. You've probably encountered a situation where you need to attach 2 pieces of fabric together. The way we do this is through a technique we call seaming. Now there are lots of different methods for seaming. So one option is a reverse single crochet seam. Now you can see that on the front the fabric looks really nice. It's relatively seamless on the right side of the fabric, but on the wrong side of the fabric we actually have this sort of nice corded edge, which is what the reverse single crochet creates. You might also know this stitch as a crab stitch, and it's often used as a way to finish off your edges on other types of projects. But in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create this corded effect when you're attaching 2 pieces of fabric together. So let's show you how we do it. So we're going to take our 2 motifs here. We've got the right sides facing each other. That's the side that we want facing outward to the public. And so the wrong sides will be facing out. Now you could pin these down to the another surface if you'd like to work that way, but I find it a little bit easier to hold them together while you're working them. Now you could pin them together using a removable crochet hook if you'd like, and help them stay together a little bit easier, and that'll also help you make sure that you're lining up all the stitches across, but I'm just going to hold them for this tutorial. Now I'm going to take my crochet hook and we're going to go into this corner here. This is step 1, and on the corner there are 3 stitches in this motif. I'm going to go through the outside, underneath, and into the middle. Alright? Now that's important for later. And then I'm going to go into the middle and through the outside on this other corner. Alright? Now when these get seamed together, we're going to have the seam going on this top edge, and then it should look pretty seamless along the inside because we do it this way, but we'll show that in more detail at the end of the tutorial. For step 2, we're going to take our yarn here, whatever it is that you're going to use to seam. In this case I'm using a piece of contrasting color yarn to make it easier to see what we're doing, and then I'm just going to leave a little bit of a tail. Right, that way we can sew that in later. So we're going to yarn over our hook and we're going to draw that through both of the stitches that are on our hook. Now for step 3, I'm going to come into this next stitch. Remember, coming from the outside in through the middle. We're going right into that center of this sort of arrow that's along the edge. And then I'm going into the middle of that arrow and through the outside edge. Okay? To match that up. Now for step 4, we're going to yarn over and we're going to draw that yarn through both stitches on our hook. But as we do, we're going to turn it clockwise. Alright? So we can see the 2 stitches are on our hook like so. We're going to turn this clockwise so that our hook is facing the right direction that we normally work with. That's going to create a twist right here in these stitches, so the second stitch is now first, and then as we yarn over and draw through, which is step 5, we're going to create that crab stitch or that reverse single crochet. Okay, that's going to give us that corded look on both these that we just worked. Alright, so let's do that again. We're going to repeat from step 3. So I'm going to come into the next stitch, remember coming from the outside in, and then we're going to go inside out. So we're going to go into the next stitch, inside out. Then we're going to bring our working yarn over, and here I'm just going to grab it with the hook and draw it through, and then we turn it. Okay, remember, we come through and turn like so. Then we'll yarn over and draw through 2. All right, we'll do that again. And when I do this again, I always bring this back, bring the hook back around counterclockwise. Then we come on the outside in, and we're going to go inside out. So we're going to find on our pattern right here, this is the next stitch. We're going to go right through the middle and on the outside. And then you can yarn over if you'd like, but I just grab the yarn with the hook and draw it through. I find that's a little bit easier. Okay? And we don't want to keep this too tight, but a little bit tight. That's going to give us a consistency in each of these stitches all the way across, so you don't have like a uneven corded edge. And we're going to bring this back. Okay? Step 3, back through, together, yarn over and draw through. That's step 4. And then we're going to yarn over and draw through 2. Okay, we'll do one more. Run through the outside, into the middle, draw through, and bring this around, then yarn over and draw through 2. Alright, so we're going to keep doing this all the way across until we reach the end of our row, or end of the section that we're seaming, and then I'll show you how we finish this up. Alright, I've come to the end of our row. I'm going to just do one more real quick into these corners here. Like so, and I'm going to yarn over and draw through 2. Now at this point I would just cut the yarn and draw the yarn all the way through to the end, and then we can tighten this seam down, and then this will allow us to weave in the end to the rest of our work. Now you could continue on to another piece if you'd like, or if you're doing some kind of cool shaping, you could continue seaming around the corner. However it is that you want to use the pattern. But to end it, we'll just cut and draw through it, tighten that down, and then we can weave it back through. And I would actually just weave it through the center of this cord because it's going to be pretty invisible at that point. But let's take a look at the finished cord. We can see the seam looks really nice here. And then when we flip it over, we can see that the edge looks pretty seamless as well. So on the front side of our pattern, you're not going to see the yarn through, right? So we've got the cord on the back, just give it sort of a cool look, and pretty seamless on the front. All right, so there we go. That is how we do the reversed single crochet seam. Hey! I'm Johnny Vasquez, founder of New Stitch A Day and your teacher for this tutorial. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to learn from us. If you'd like to see more videos just like this, we produce new content every single day, hence New Stitch A Day. You can click the subscribe button so that you don't miss a single stitch. And if you click one of the links to the side here, you can see the previous stitch in our series or the next stitch in our series. And if you click this link, you'll be able to see one of my favorites. And don't forget, you can also download a PDF with the written instructions for this tutorial by clicking or using the URL link that's on the screen. Again, I want to thank you so much for learning with us, and I hope that we've helped make your knitting and crochet skills a little bit better today. Yarn on!